welcome to our local news bulletin with me, Leonora Jawala. The headlines. Changes in the leadership of the Army is a routine practice meant for the smooth running of the Army, according to the Deputy Minister of Defense, Colonel Retired Morana Masako.
A transfer of military professional leadership from one of our finest Chiefs of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sule Ibrahim Sise, to another very promising fine Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sake Lavam.
Over 100 school-going pupils at the magazine community have benefited from learning materials worth millions of yens donated by the Syriac Kaba Foundation.
I started to come back after a long time, but when I come back, I look, the only thing that I can see, I see say Boku picking another future. That's a look. Compared to Usa Commode.
Now, Barish Kids Foundation over the weekend has held a day workshop on mental health issues and entrepreneurship.
Today is one of the things we don't do, and today we get a workshop on mental health and entrepreneurship. Well, we find out that so many young people, we need to work on our mental health.
And in sports, local commercial bank concludes football match with the United Bank of Africa aimed at fostering good relationship between both institutions despite the hosts lose by 2-1. No, this is making the headlines. And now the news in detail. The Deputy Minister of Defense, Colonel Retired Morana Masako, has said changes in the leadership of the Army is a routine practice meant for the smooth running of the Army, stating that the recent leadership has been guided and carefully executed by principles of fairness and pecking order in the Army. Now, he made this statement while serving as guest of honor at the official handing and taking over ceremony of the Office of the Chief of Defense Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces at the headquarters Joint Force Command. Our defense correspondent, Abdulrahman Kamala, reports.
Friday, 16 September 2022 was a memorable and momentous day in the history of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces as the outgone Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sule Sise, officially handed over the baton of office to the newly appointed Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Peter K. Lavahun, and the official pulling out of the outgoing CDS from military service in a typical traditional style. The symbolic ceremony was held at the Cochrane Barracks at the headquarters Joint Force Command. Given a declaration of purpose, the Assistant Chief of Defense Staff, Personnel and Military Service, Brigadier General Soriba Kamara, told a gathering that they assembled to witness a handing over of the baton of office to the new CDS. He said the outgoing CDS was elevated to the position of CDS, served for some 2 years, 2 months, and diligently retired on August 12, 2022, the fourth military officer to attain the rank of Lieutenant General after the two late generals, General Samuel Umar Williams and Edson Milton, and General Bure Sise, respectively. While delivering his valedictory address, the outgone Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sule Sise, expressed his profound thanks to the First Lady of the Republic, Her Excellency Madam Fatima Bio, for her support, most particularly in the area of the ongoing state-of-the-art infrastructure development at the 34 Military Hospital / Joint Medical Unit. Something he says is a legendary and worthy of excellent commendation in transforming the hospital into a premier hospital. Lieutenant General Sule Sise thanked all those who in diverse ways assisted him to achieve some of his objectives.
In matter of duty as former Chief of Defense Staff, I had great support from my political masters, the Minister of Defense and the Deputy Minister of Defense, the Director General Minister of Defense, and the senior management, which comprises the then Commander Joint Force, now CDS, ACDSs, and Deputy Secretaries. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your support, cooperation, and collaboration accorded me during my tenure as Chief of Defense Staff. Your support in no way small, in no small way provided the space for my administration to achieve meaningful and sustainable development for the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. Let me take this singular honor to express my profound thanks and appreciation to the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Madam Fatima Jabibio, her support to the development of the armed forces in diverse ways, and most particularly in the area of the ongoing state-of-the-art infrastructural development at the 34 Military Hospital. It's legendary and worthy of excellent commendation. During my tenure, our support in transforming our military hospital into a premier hospital is highly laudable. I thank her immensely for galvanizing the funds to ensure that we have a state-of-the-art hospital without government funding.
In his statement, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Peter K. Lavahun, thanked the outgone CDS as he now joined other retired generals, but he reminded him of the old saying, "All soldiers never dies, but they fade away."
Upon my appointment as Chief of Defense Staff, I set out my priority of work, otherwise my directives, to my general ranking officers in order to have an ASLAB that remains diligent, accountable, and mission-oriented, deeply rooted in professionalism. An armed force that shall be applauded for its discipline, commitment, and values that can play a critical role in the nation's security, safety, and development, and would undoubtedly be of great inspiration to all, both within and outside of the armed forces. My predecessor, 91 batch, Lieutenant General retired Sule Ibrahim Sise, has been a very sterling officer. I want to thank General Sise, retired, for his sterling leadership of the ASLAF and for his dedicated contribution over the past 30 years of national service. Sir, I thank you for your leadership.
The Deputy Minister of Defense, who was a guest of honor, Colonel retired Murana Masakoi, commended both the outgone CDS and the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Peter K. Lavahun, as well as the newly appointed Commander Joint Force, Major General Dauda Fred Alpha, noting that the appointment of the two is a clear demonstration of trust and confidence reposed on both by His Excellency President Dr. Julius Maada Bio in seeing the development growth trajectory in the Army.
It is an honor for us that so many of you have taken the time out of your busy schedule in order to witness this milestone in the history of Sierra Leone and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, a transfer of military professional leadership from one of our finest Chiefs of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sule Ibrahim Sise, to another very promising fine Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Peter K. Lavahun.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Peter K. Lavahun, is a highly motivated, experienced, and result-oriented general-ranking military officer with a distinguished record of selfless and loyal service to the state, spanning a period of over 3 decades. He is a respecter of diversity and equal opportunity and a strong advocate of democratic oversight. A product of Christ the King College, a school that attracts the best, the brightest, and betters. General Lavahun is happily married and the union is blessed with children. Abdul Rahman Kaba reporting.
Over 300 school-going pupils at the magazine community have benefited from learning materials worth millions of yen donated by the Siri Kaba Foundation. Janet Mobizaiza reports.
Sie Kaba, the founder and CEO of Sie Kaba Children Empowerment Foundation, when speaking said she left the country at age 15. Upon her return to Sierra Leone, she noticed that children were going astray and decided to establish the foundation. She continued that since the establishment of the foundation, they have embarked on so many activities like cleaning, seminar for girls, donation, and a lot more. She furthered that the donation to school pupils to encourage them to be more focused on their studies.
It's been a while, but coming back, I started to come back after a long time. But when I come back, I look, the only thing where I can see, I see say Boku picking a future. Na salon. Compared to Obusa Komot, and compared to how me be left the country. So I try to go around the land, the communities, them back. So I can go back all the time. They go around at different communities there, they watch. So when they see picking them, like even then and they sell na street. I can pick on my own, I don't give one buy, but they look at my buy the whole market so they go back home. Because it don't late. Because I saw they can abuse girl picking them. So if you even make why they come home and they feel sick, I can say, so now we have people that they sell late picking them. You know, they see man, then they come close to the picking them. So I pick on my own. I say, but go picking them, they were vulnerable, we need help. You know, as much as I don't get that much, but every little thing makes a difference in someone's life. Like almost 100 kids today. And I still have some extra kids, like uninvited guest kids that are not part of my organization. That I'm just going to give special gift to surprise. Because I knew that most time when we do a donation, we always have kids from the street that pop in. So for them to just walk away without getting anything, it really makes me feel bad. So instead of them leaving the household just like that, I always try to give them something, no matter how many. All girls. But looking at it, to me, all kids are precious. I know they usually say no child, no women, everybody's in favor of women. But they have vulnerable boys too. They have a whole lot of vulnerable boys that have been abused on the street too. So looking at it, pretty much I cater for like 50 boys today and 40 kids as a whole. 40 girls, sorry. 90% from my kids. 10% from close friends and family that believe in me. This is not just a foundation. We get the parents involved too. We teach the parent communication skills. Because I know growing up in Africa, most African parents, all they can do is just yell and scream at their kids, the lack of communication skills. So like with me, I'm always thankful for the type of parent that I used to have with my dad. He always sit, even if I did something wrong, he always sit me down and talk to me. I'm like, Siri, why the hell did you say this thing to me?
Augusta Y. Kamara, a beneficiary who is now a university student, groomed from the Siri Kaba Children's Foundation, in her statement, appreciated the CEO for giving her an opportunity to own a laptop. She said she has longed for a laptop when she gained admission into the university, but her parents could not afford to get her one. But Siri Kaba Children's Empowerment Foundation has made studies easier for her. She thanked Siri Kaba, the CEO and founder, for the goodwill gesture and encouraged other people that can afford to help others, especially vulnerable children, to come on board.
then for be themselves to boy pikin for material things. All I can say is make them keep calm. If you people are not get, just be patient. One day God will send a savior. Like how Madam Sige do so. Because this computer yeah, my money they try to buy for me computer in there because I cannot call them and for do research and all. So like when Madam Sige don't help my life right now, give me computer, therapy to thank you. That money now we go use buy computer.
For Star TV News in Freetown, Janet Mugbeza is reporting.
And in case you just joined us, you're watching the local news bulletin here on Star TV. Now, Barish Kids Foundation over the weekend has held a day workshop on mental health issues and entrepreneurship at John Street in Freetown. Admaya Samai was there and she files in this report.
The president, Barish Kids Foundation, Michael Roland Griffin, said the foundation was founded in 2016 to help young children that are vulnerable in the country. He further noted the purpose of the workshop, which is to discuss about mental health and entrepreneurship.
Barish Kids Foundation, my foundation, we formed on the 23rd of November 2016, and the CEO, Cherino Barry, get the passion for help young picking them. And it thought fit in me for come together, put things together, and see how in your little way they help picking them more vulnerable. So that's why we formed the Barish Kids Foundation. Okay. Today is one of the things we don't do, and today we get a workshop on mental health and entrepreneurship. Well, we find out that so many young people, we need to work on our mental health. It's very key, yeah. And entrepreneurship also another key thing where they help we as young people where we need for loan. So we decide as a foundation, even though we care for vulnerable people, but we also need for work on ourselves. So we decide for come together and make we learn things that we need to do, things that we need to know about your mental health. We will help you for tomorrow. As I just present, stress now something we not bad, not to sickness, not to disease, but we just need to know how for respond to them, how for react to them, how for manage them well. And one of the things where we need to know when you stress, the thing where you need to do, first of all, you need to find a supportive system. You need to get somebody where you go talk to somebody where you go confide in, where you go rely to. It can be your pastor and imam, your family member, even your friend. You know, you need to do something where you find enjoyable, something where you get fun in. You can watch comedy movie, you can read humorous books, and you can also exercise as well as you can. You can try to eat well and all, because when you are stressed, if you don't manage it properly, then it can lead to so many other things.
So Musu Bangura, project coordinator, Barish Kids Foundation, talk about the essence and importance of entrepreneurship. She explains more.
First of all, talk of the essence and importance of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship involves in the everyday life. Every now and then, one way or the other, you don't find yourself in a situation wherein you'll be able to buy and sell goods. As an entrepreneur, you get certain qualities that we attribute to an entrepreneur, or some things that we really look at as or what we look at in an entrepreneurship. One of the characteristics them are that you have to be decisive. As an entrepreneur, you not for just go with the flow. Certain decisions and the way you need to make, and especially in critical moments, you need to make them. You are not 100% good, yes, mistakes are inevitable because we are all humans. But as an entrepreneur, you have to be decisive and you have to know when and how to make certain decisions at certain time in your life. The second one is that as an entrepreneur, you have to be a risk taker. As the saying goes, you cannot be comfortable in your comfort zone, because once you're comfortable in your comfort zone, then you're not able to learn anything. So you need to always take this bold step, or one step further in embarking on the venture we have for undertake. As also an entrepreneurship, we get things that we look at some of the importance of being an entrepreneur. One of them is that it breeds innovation and creativity. An entrepreneur, you also get to think of benefit as you get to get profit on your own, wey go make you become independent and get control over your business and perhaps your personal life as well. You will able to fund your personal life, you will able to fund your business. And there is this saying that even if you find yourself in a workplace, but you have to have your side hustle. So as an entrepreneur, you get to get this side hustle, despite we all work, yes, but it's always nice, it's always good to get your side hustle.
Participants received certificates at the end of the workshop. Admire Samai reporting for Star TV News.
The Flaming Evangelical Ministry International has launched the Reverence 2022, a night of worship under the host of Dr. Reverend Lady Patricia Kuruma, Co-General Overseer of the Flaming Evangelical Ministry International. There is more on that report.
Reverend's aim is to promote Christianity through worship. This move was inspired by His Grace the Archbishop and Mrs. Abukoroma as he sings praise twice. Bishop Abukoroma notes the visions and inspiration behind the reverence.
I really recall that the very Sunday, the subsequent Sunday in church, you know, I made maybe it was a joke, but you know, God used it as a seed, you know, to give birth to what we now today call reverence. I said, I told my wife, I said, I can imagine a platform where you will be with Mrs. Jonah and you're worshiping God. I said, can you imagine your talent put together? I said, it's amazing. You see, because when you look at a seed looks very insignificant. But in every seed, there is the potential to become a tree, you know. And in every tree, if you look at the trees, trees have a potential to become a forest, you know. So apparently, I just threw it at them, you know, whilst we were in church. And they took it so seriously. And I think they brainstormed together with Mr. Kaisi Dwai, who was the host of that program last year. And they came up to me with the vision that today we have seen manifesting, you know. And I applauded them. I said, this is the beginning of greater things in store for you. And with time, we discovered that when I attended the first reverence, I was amazed. I'm telling you, it got me to be interested in music. At home, I would listen to music, maybe 1%, and messages 99%. But because of the performance of these ladies, you know, back with the gentlemen, my concept of music was radically altered. It was radically altered. So now I can sing, but if I were to sing here, definitely I would like all the angels. And I have the potential to preach, but I'm not a worshiper, so to speak. I admire these people. So with this now, we see that the vision of reverence is being unfolded bit by bit. So I could say nothing but give an applaud, you know, to these people. I will applaud them for what they have kept, the vision and the consistency. Having said that, I think I will draw the curtain down for my own.
The host of Reverence, Dr. Reverend Lady Patricia Kuruma, said that her passion to worshippers inspired her and that Reverence is here to take people to the inner court of worship.
And on that day, His Grace specifically gave me the vision. And I also mentioned Mrs. Bintu Jonah to support the vision. I prayed concerning the project and I felt led to include Mr. Kadisi Dwai as my project manager because it was his program I had ministered in on the day of independence, which I believe God confirmed in the heart of my husband to release me for higher calling, and I was so thrilled. Since that day, I formed the team and we began to make plans with the help of God. And I believe that by God's grace, nothing, I said nothing, will stop reverence from happening. Amen. Paul says there is no height, no depth that will stop him from serving God. And so nothing will stop us from bringing reverence to fruition. You see, different deities demand worship from their followers in such an occasion. They will sing, they will chant, they will shout, there will be drums to attract the attention of their gods. But in John 4:24, Jesus spoke about this with passion, how to enter into his presence.
Reverence 2022 will be held October 2nd at the Flaming Evangelical Ministry headquarters, Freetown. The conference was climaxed with the launch of Reverence 2022 by His Grace the Archbishop Abu Kouma. For Star TV News in Freetown, I am Isabella Stanley.
Well, to round up the news bulletin, we turn to sport. As part of celebrations of the 23rd anniversary of Rokel Commercial Bank since its transition from Barclays Bank, the IC Bank held a series of programs to mark the event and to remind citizens about the impressive transformation of the bank under the leadership of Dr. Walton Ekundayo-Gilpin. Wilson John has more.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Sporting News. One of the best banks in the world, the Rokel Commercial Bank, as part of the ongoing 24 years anniversary celebration, has concluded a one-day football competition at the Kintobury Ground Police Field. The bank invited the United Bank for Africa, UBA. According to the managing director of Rokel Commercial Bank, Dr. Walton Ekundayo-Gilpin, said it is necessary to foster a good relationship with sister bank, so they decided to organize this one-day football competition. Although Rokel Commercial Bank, they were defeated by 2-1. Here is a report by George Elliottson.
Barclays Bank Sierra Leone officially transferred ownership of the bank to the government and people of Sierra Leone on the 17th of September 1999. 23 years ago, Rokel Commercial Bank was born. Even though the bank has existed for over 106 years, it is important to highlight the significant part of its history. On Thursday, 17th September 2022, activities to commemorate this change of ownership kick off with religious service in all its branches nationwide. The bank's PR team was also busy with live radio and TV talk shows to further enhance the visibility of the event, as well as remind citizens about Rokel Commercial Bank's impressive transformation through innovation and an overhaul of its entire operations to meet the demands for modern-day banking. Perhaps the biggest of this low-key event was last Saturday football match between the Rokel Commercial Bank and the United Bank of Africa, in which the bank's top management and staff participated to promote a healthy lifestyle and also a healthy competition within the financial industry, and also to continue repositioning the bank as a top player in Sierra Leone's financial industry. The football match was played between both the male and the female. At the event, the bank corporate social responsibility credentials were expounded by the managing director, Dr. Ekundayo-Gilpin, who mentioned their involvement with helping vulnerable groups, environmental protection, and support to educational institutions.
Here today for a friendly football match. That is with our friends and brothers, bankers, UBA. Well, ideally, we're celebrating the 23rd year of the bank, and we're going to make sure that we can go out there and just let people understand that banking is important in any economy. Banking is pivotal in any financial environment and also within the overall macroeconomic framework. So by doing this, we are playing football with another bank, and those who are here as guests will see the need for bankers to celebrate, and also bankers to make money, and bankers to contribute effectively in the overall macroeconomic framework of an economy. Well, as I said, and I always say, Barclays Bank chose the Premier League in England. Football brings people together, all walks and all conditions, all and sundry. So by choosing football, which is one of the most popular sports in Sierra Leone, we can attract people who are spectators to come in, understand what's going on, enjoy the game, then be curious about what we do, and then maybe also jump on board and become part of the banking population.
Digital online banking, Visa debit card, and the revolutionary mobile-based Rokel SIM Copper Plus, according to Dr. Gilpin, have been made available to make banking extremely easy and swift for customers. He said the recent expansion to Bont, Kailon, Kabbalah, FBC, Wilberforce, Juba was in response to government's clear call for financial inclusion.
Well, we have a football match like you're seeing today. We have a quiz that's been going on for a while. We're going to have winners this afternoon. We're going to distribute prizes to them. We had a memorial service, and we have meet and greet with the customers. So ideally, it's not like a 25th year. It's not any like pivotal anniversary. It's in the middle of the normal growth of the bank. So we're doing this really just to show that the bank has been around, the bank is around, the bank is successful, it's viable, it's strong, it's resounding, and we continue to go out there and make sure this becomes an entity that can stand the test of time and can also make Sierra Leoneans proud. Because Sierra Leone entity growing strong and is really making good money for the people. Oh well, Keyline Bank is a football match and also promoting our products and services, ensuring that we are relevant in the economy, and most of all, making the general public understand that the banking sector is very critical, for financial stability in any economy, and we are playing that role.
The Managing Director, United Bank of Africa, UBA, Ishaka Usman, stated that they are well pleased with the invitation by the Rokel Commercial Bank in supporting them towards their celebration. He further that they are competitors, but a good and healthy one. UBA is here to contribute to the growth and socio-economic development of Sierra Leone, he maintained.
We are happy to be here to rejoice with our colleague in the banking sector, the Rokel Bank, for their 23rd anniversary. We are here to have a novelty match with them to show the spirit of interbank cooperation that is required. Even though we are competitors, we can still collaborate. So we are using this to demonstrate, to show that all of us will have the same objective towards the growth and development of the economy. So we can still find ways to cooperate with one another. You see, if you come to look at it, the banking inclusion, the banking penetration ratio in this country is still very high, around 20%. Okay? So that tells you that we still have a very big market to compete. Therefore, as bankers, we don't need to compete unnecessarily. The market out there is still big for us to compete. So that's why we need to cooperate with one another and see how we can expand the banking space for the overall benefit of the economy. Like in the spirit of football, okay? It's a no win and no victor, no vantage. So it is what is desired and expected of all banks. Let us all cooperate together with one another to see how we can collaborate and contribute towards the economy. The banking sector had a major role to play in the development of any economy.
The event was clamored with a celebration from both banks, which is also geared to strengthen their relationship. For Star TV News in Freetown, George L.
So we hope that the players of Rokel Commercial Bank will train for 365 days so that they'll get a better team in the next coming celebration of the bank. Congratulations to UBA. Sad news for Sierra Leoneans as the champions in the Sierra Leone Premier League last season, Bolganger Football Club, has been eliminated in the African Champions League after they were defeated by CRB for Algeria in the second leg 3-0. Although the FC Cameroon succeeded in both legs in aggregate 4-0 against Buffaloes from Mali. But more of that will be coming up in our next news bulletin. Running up the sport news, Freetonian Slifer has appreciated their players and officials for their tremendous work they did last season of pulling the cup to stay in the Premier League. Also, more of that will be coming up in our next news bulletin. So that's all for sports. For today's news, back to Leona Jawa in the studio.
And those are all the stories we have for you today in our local news bulletin file. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. I am Leona Jawa. Stay with us if you can.